Hello all. So in this lesson, we're going to start looking at chemistry, extraction of metals 1. So in this lesson, we're basically looking at three things. Okay, we're going to look at how metals are extracted, and the keywords used are unreactive, reactive, metal, compound, element reduction, and oxidized. Okay, and we're going to look at how metals are extracted by reducing or removing oxygen. Okay, so we're going to look at that. This is the first lesson in this sequence. Okay, starter, I want you to define the following terms: element, compound, mixture, ore, metal oxide, and metal carbonate. So you can, if you want to, research from internet, or you can look at, if you have a book, you can look in the book. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to do this. So I want you to do this in your book. Define the following terms: element, compound, mixture, ore, metal oxide, and metal carbonate. So I'll give you 1 minute. So ideally, because you are at home, so what you should really do is you should pause the video here, and either using your phone or your laptop, research the answers and then write them down in the book. Can I just remind you, I want these written in your book, so when you come back into school, you have this work already done. So define the following terms, please. Okay, element, compound, mixture, metal oxide, okay, and metal carbonate. So I'm assuming you have paused the video and you looked at internet or your book to get the answers. So I'll go to the answers with you. Element, chemicals made up of one type of atom only. Okay. Compounds are made up of two or more elements, and they chemically combined. We've looked at different compounds. Remember when we did ionic bonding and covalent bonding, we looked at compounds. So they're made of two or more elements and they chemically combined. Mixture is made up of molecules of elements and compounds, but they are not chemically combined. So they are mixture, they're not combined. They have their own identity, okay, but they're not combined. So that's the key difference. Compound, they're chemically combined, and in a mixture, they are not. Can you make sure you write this down in your book, please? Ore is a naturally occurring solid material from which, should say from there, from which metal can be extracted. So there are natural sources available to us. We'll look at these later on, from which we can extract different metals. Okay, metal oxide, as the name says, metal oxide is a compound which is formed when a metal reacts with oxygen. Example, magnesium oxide. We looked at this when we did the squeaky pop test, if you remember the experiment. Okay, magnesium oxide. So when metals react with oxygen, they give you they will form magnesium oxide. Metal carbonate, same thing. Metal compound made up of metal, carbon, and oxygen. Carbon, metal, carbon, and oxygen. So let me go through this. Elements are made up of chemicals made up of atom. Compound, chemicals made up of two or more elements. Mixture, made up of molecules of elements and compounds that are not chemically combined. And ore is a natural occurring solid material from which metal can be extracted. Metal oxide, a compound formed when metal reacts with oxygen, example, magnesium oxide, and metal carbonate, a metal compound made up of the metal carbon and oxygen. Can you write these down in your book, please? These answers, and the title is chemistry. Okay, and we're looking at extraction of metals. Okay, now I've got some metals for you in there in front of you. You have gold, silver, copper, lead, iron, zinc, aluminium, magnesium, calcium, sodium, and potassium. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to copy this in the book, and I want you to write next to it increased reactivity. So all these metals basically are increasing in reactivity as they progress from gold to potassium. So reactivity will react pretty easily. Now, if you add carbon there, I've added carbon there. Carbon can be added to the series underneath aluminium. Okay, so instead of under aluminium, I've added another one. I've added carbon for you. Now, what you need to remember in this is how metals are extracted is the metals that are less reactive than carbon can be extracted from their oxides by reduction with carbon. Okay, remember reduction is the loss of oxygen. So, for example, okay, all these metals below carbon, so zinc, iron, lead, copper, silver, and gold, they can be extracted by removing oxygen because they are less reactive than carbon. So you need to remember these metals here, zinc, iron, lead, copper, silver, and oxygen, they can be extracted by removing oxygen. So example will be we will look at examples later on. So what I want you to do is to find out yourself how metals can be extracted using different methods. I want you to research how the following metals are extracted and identify the issues surrounding the methods used for each type of extraction. So I want you to research about aluminium, iron, copper, and gold. Okay, how they're extracted and identify issues surrounding that. Then I want you to email me outlining what you've learned. So you can either email me, or you can get your parents to send me a text message to tell me how what you've learned. So let me just summarize this. So I've got different metals here. Okay, gold, silver, copper, lead, iron, zinc, carbon. So the way you extract these metals is metals which are less reactive than carbon underneath carbon. Okay, so zinc, iron, lead, copper, silver, and gold. They can be extracted by removing oxygen. So you can remove oxygen from them, and they can be extracted. That's the key word. So remember this. Reduction is the loss of oxygen. Okay, so I want you to have a go at this activity. Research how the following metals are extracted, identify the issues surrounding. Okay, bye.